I think if am I wrong in saying this might be a step into what Chelsea reported, or not Chelsea, but news channels reported back in May about, Todd Bowley being interested, adding ex-Chelsea players to the board, adding more hands-on personnel, like I guess, Petr Cech was there during the Roman era, maybe having another ex-Chelsea player sit at the board like they have at Ajax and Bayern Munich, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think that the ownership structure and therefore the board structure will change dramatically comparative to Roman Abramovich, where you had a very successful owner over decades, but not particularly transparent or open, and there wasn't a huge amount of engagement. And the same can be said for Bruce Buck, a very influential figure, not just at Chelsea Football Club, but within the Premier League as well, but not particularly collaborative, and within Chelsea, very much polarized opinions. And now you have sort of shared responsibilities at the football club, where Bowley is in charge of the operational side. Clearlake are going to be heavily invested on the financial, the football, the business side, and the global growth of the brand. Jonathan Goldstein will lead on the redevelopment. Hans-Jörg Weiss is going to be a little bit more distant, but still very much involved when investment opportunities come to the fore, and so on. So then that bleeds into the board, which it's too early to speak that specifically on, but we know already that Clearlake Bowley will have multiple spots, and Bedag Egbali in particular will be relatively hands-on. And then I do agree with you that I think you'll find that ex-Chelsea players or those that have an affinity with the football club will be involved, at least on a non-executive level. It may be that a fan group or somebody will be given a sort of golden share on behalf of the fan base to protect the kind of heritage side and so on. And all of that will be discussed. And I think that's the key point of differentiation. The Chelsea fan right now will want to know who's on the board, what's the makeup, when's it going to be announced, who's going, who's staying, and are there experts in each area of the football club to make sure that Chelsea can maintain their success on the football field and grow off it? And the short answer is yes. It's a very non-ego based group who are prepared to delegate and listen to different voices, whether officially through the board or unofficially through the fan base. So that tells you that, unlike under Abramovich, this is a more transparent ownership group willing to engage. And then as far as the specifics are concerned, the reason we don't know them at the moment is because they've only been in the job officially 3 weeks, but also because they want to reach out. They want to hear who's available. They want to talk to ex-players. They want to speak to fan groups so they know what's right. And that's a better approach, because if tomorrow you announce someone on the board that's an ex-Chelsea player, you'll win a lot of love. You'll win a lot of social media clicks. But a better approach is to speak to 20 ex-Chelsea players and work out who is the right ambassador, who's got the right level of seniority, who's got the right business acumen to actually be a success in the long term. And I think that's why they're taking their time. And during that process of taking their time and listening to different people and essentially trying to walk first, run second, there may be some frustration. Certain people in the fan base may lose their patience and wonder why there's not more progress, especially with the window open and other clubs moving fast. But I think judge the ownership group, the board makeup, the strategy, the plans at the end of the transfer window, even if as a fan that means biting your lip and waiting and seeing and panicking first. Judge them at the end of the window. And if that means going off social media, not looking at all the interested in this, not looking at all the nearly transfers and so on, just taking a breath and judging Chelsea Football Club come either the first kick of a ball or the end of the window. And then at that point, the board will be clear, the strategy will be clear, and the new signings will have come in and the outgoings will have been resolved. And that's when the Clearlake Bowley era can really start.
I think you're absolutely right, because with a lot of these clubs making these transfers early on in the window, talks must have been going back all the way from January, whereas Chelsea were not able to make those contacts with players because of the uncertainty of the future that they had and the sanctions that were placed back in March, I believe. So as Chelsea fans, we just need to be patient, as you said, and just, there's still quite a long way to go there's all of July and almost all of August. Even when the first ball is kicked into the Premier League season, we're still going to have 2 or 3 weeks, I believe, after the Premier League.